Welcome to Celeb Scene Central. Deadpool, aka Wade Wilson, aka the Merc with a Mouth, first made his debut in the much-maligned X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Pretty much the only thing people liked from that was Ryan Reynolds was a perfect fit for the character, but they just wanted to see him don that glorious red suit and enact some of that fourth-wall-breaking humor that he's so well known for in the comics. 7 years later, we finally got that with the first Deadpool film in 2016, followed by Deadpool 2 years later in 2018. Both films are among the highest-grossing R-rated films of all time, only being beaten by Joker. With that R rating, you can imagine that the Deadpool films brought with them a foul-mouthed, raunchy sense of humor, which was totally okay for a self-aware superhero satire. Not long after that though, the competition between 20th Century Fox, who had the rights to the X-Men characters, and Marvel's parent company, Disney, reached its conclusion as the House of Mouse bought 20th Century and all of its assets in 2019. This meant something of an unceremonious end to the studio's X-Men franchise, with X-Men, Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants not getting much in the way of fanfare. While that might have been disappointing for some, Disney's massive purchase also means that characters from the X-Men series are now fair game to be in the MCU, and it's already happened with Evan Peters' appearance in WandaVision as Quicksilver, even if it was sort of an inside joke, and then with Patrick Stewart's return as Charles Xavier in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The appearances of stars and characters from past continuities and other universes are no longer that much of a surprise in the current multiverse saga that is taking place in the MCU. Yet, when Ryan Reynolds posted an update for the long-awaited Deadpool and Wolverine on his YouTube channel, he dropped an absolute bombshell announcement that a certain Claude hero would be making a shocking return. To find out everything we know so far about Deadpool's entrance into the MCU, as well as the grumpy friend he's bringing with him, read below to find out. Editor's note: this article was last updated on July 14, 2024. Does Deadpool and Wolverine have a release date? Deadpool and Wolverine will now hit theaters on July 26, 2024. The film was initially announced for September 6, 2024, but it later changed, being pushed back to November 8, 2024. Disney then made a surprise announcement that the movie was being pushed up and would release the film on May 4, 2024. However, it was forced to move as a result of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. On July 14, 2023, Deadpool 3 stopped production, with both actors and writers having declared a historic strike. Tickets for Deadpool and Wolverine went on sale on May 20, 2024, with Marvel Studios sharing the news on their social media. Is there a trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine? The first teaser for Deadpool and Wolverine was released on February 11, 2024, during Super Bowl 58. Coming in at a shade under 2.5 minutes, the trailers offer a look at Wade's latest adventure as he encounters the TVA. Notably, we do not get a full look at Wolverine in this teaser, but we do get an all-too-brief glimpse of that classic blue and yellow costume that fans have waited to see in live action for decades. An extended look at Deadpool and Wolverine was shown exclusively to attendees at CinemaCon 2024, and thankfully, Collider's Britta DeVore broke down the footage that she saw while attending the event. The second trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine was released on Monday, April 22, and we finally get what fans have been waiting to see, a proper good look at Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. The sequence drops a few hints about how Wolverine factors into the story, with the TVA agent known as Mr. Paradox, Matthew McFadden, claiming that this Wolverine has lost everything and everyone he ever cared about, which is a grim fate that old Logan just can't seem to escape in these movies. It's also a fate that Wade is running the risk of experiencing himself, as whatever conflict he's involved in could result in the loss of his friends and wife. The trailer also features the proper debut of Emma Corrin's villain, Cassandra Nova, who may or may not be a relative of Wolverine's mentor, Charles Xavier, Patrick Stewart. Marvel fans who look closely will also notice a few Easter eggs, such as a tease of Loki's shadow monster Alioth, a giant Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, Skull, and a portal possibly created by a sorcerer like Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, or Benedict Wong. The trailer concludes with a hysterical conversation between Wade and Blind Al, Leslie Uggams, where Wade implies that they can't do cocaine in the movie because Kevin Feige told him not to. Marvel Studios released a 1-minute teaser for Deadpool and Wolverine on June 8. While the trailer didn't offer too much new footage, it did feature a small clip of a pair of feminine legs in Deadpool's iconic red and black colors. This led to a lot of online speculation as to whether or not this was a tease of Lady Deadpool, a character that has been widely rumored to appear in the movie. Another teaser for Deadpool and Wolverine was released by Marvel Studios on June 28. The 1-minute spot reveals the return of another iconic character, Tyler Mane Sabretooth. Mane first appeared as the character in the original X-Men movie but hasn't played the character in over 2 decades. In the trailer, Deadpool seems just as excited as the audience about the long-awaited rematch between Jackman's Wolverine and Mane's Sabretooth. On September 27, 2022, Reynolds appears to be wearing a version of the Deadpool suit that is decently reminiscent of the character's black and gray X-Force suit from the comics, which is one of his most popular looks outside his standard suit. After pouring some of his branded aviation gin into a Deadpool mug, Reynolds then says that he doesn't really have any ideas for the new movie, that is, except for one thing. Right on cue, Hugh Jackman himself walks behind Reynolds as if nothing's going on. Reynolds then asks, "Hey Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?" Hugh says yes, and "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston starts playing. The incredible tease ends with the tagline, "Coming Hun," and a poster featuring the Deadpool logo with a big ol' Wolverine slash through it. Less than 24 hours later, Reynolds posted a follow-up video with him and Jackman attempting to answer just how exactly Wolverine is back, after his death in Logan, but interrupted by the classic Wham! Song, "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go." Does Deadpool and Wolverine take place in the MCU? Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine is being considered as a Marvel Studios production, and the head of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, has confirmed that this will be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that the entire film will take place in the MCU. That seems to be the likely conclusion, but we have to remember that the current multiverse saga has already brought in characters from both the Sam Raimi and Mark Webb Spider-Man films in Spider-Man: No Way Home. Deadpool and Wolverine will be a similar situation where we see characters from the 20th Century Timeline's crossover with the MCU timeline. However, since most of the movie seems to be taking place in the Void, which was first introduced in Loki Season 1, we still don't know if the movie will end with Deadpool, Wolverine, and their friends making their permanent home in the main MCU timeline.